What would you take to the wasteland?
What would I take to the wasteland?
Into the Wasteland.
Fallout es una franquicia de videojuegos de mundo abierto retrofuturista donde habitamos un mundo post-apocalíptico tras una guerra nuclear.
A few mental breakdowns later and here we are.
Este universo llega al mundo de las series con una apuesta bestial creada por la mente de Jonathan Nolan.
Started as a fan of the games. I was taking a break in between working on the Batman movies.
Director de Westworld y guionista de la saga de Batman.
Una más cerveza, por favor. It's my primary survival skill.
Me senté con sus protagonistas para conocer en profundidad todo sobre este nuevo proyecto de Prime Video.
It's all been built. It all looks amazing. It's real.
That's cool.
Amazing.
How did you get in touch with Fallout?
I as a fan, started as a fan of the games. I was taking a break in between working on the Batman movies, and I wanted a different experience. And then put the game in, started playing, and I just couldn't believe the unique tone of those games. I think is what really first got to me. The expansiveness, the world exploration, the choices you could make as a player. But the tone was so weird, so dark, emotional,
a comic at
deep,
the same time.
And funny, weird, almost goofy in some places, right? So I thought I'd never really had that experience before.
What is happening here?
Everyone wants to save the world.
It was nerve-wracking to prepare for Fallout because, you know, there's such a wealth of knowledge and information out there. And you know, I didn't have that much. I had maybe 1 or 2 months and I wanted to do everything. I wanted to play the game. I wanted to know the lore inside out. I had to learn my line. I got to read all the scripts. I needed to work out.
Months to play the games because they're huge.
Yeah.
There's so much, isn't there? And so it was definitely intimidating.
Exciting though to continue to read what Geneva and Graham, you know, and Jonah were coming up with, and you just want to do it justice.
Why did you join the Brotherhood?
To hurt the people who hurt me.
How's your Spanish?
Una más cerveza, por favor.
Is that all I need? A survival skill.
It's my primary survival skill. Beer.
It's a pleasure being here with you. You are a cult actor because you've been in so many cult movies and TV shows, and now you get into the world of video games.
Yes, finally. They reached out to me, and I had a chance to meet with Jonah Nolan and the writers, and they were so lovely, and they were so excited about the story that we could tell together that I just felt this is something that I really want to be involved with. I mean, I love the story. I was not familiar with the game, but I love the story that they created, and I love the father-daughter relationship that existed.
Do you think now is the time for us gamers to take charge after comic book heroes have?
Video games is are a different medium, right? And yes, there are some commonalities there, but it's a different mode of storytelling. So you say, what's a video game movie? Well, there's an awful lot that can be, you know, a video game adaptation is there's an awful lot that could be different video games. One of the things we loved about Fallout, and one of the challenges of it, was to take that open world role-playing game dynamic and find a way to make that work in the context of a medium in which you can't make those sorts of choices.
What was most challenging to make about recreating the Fallout world in the real world?
I think 2 things. The tone, which was the closest that I've ever gotten to comedy before, which is exciting. We've always had to have we've always wanted to have lighter moments in ours, but we never really come as close as we did with this series to comedy. And then the sheer expressiveness and and scope of the world. Feeling of the games is so much the environment.
The open world, you feel watching the show, I watched the first episodes, and it feels really big and really with feel of air.
If you insist on staying, then you will have to adapt.
So you're both like naive and at the same time having to endure really difficult situations.
You're an actual vault dweller.
I am.
I thought all you dipshits were dead.
It was nice that I got to start in a place of innocence and a lack of experience and then build that experience up, right? It's like having a newborn baby and then just putting it in the wasteland. That sounded terrible. I would never put a newborn baby on the wasteland.
It's all been built. It all looks amazing. It's real. We're shipping sand from Namibia,
Yeah, that's right.
You know, to shoot in a studio to replicate stuff.
That's cool.
It's amazing.
How were the sets? Because sometimes it's different when you have a blue or green screen or a virtual screen. Were you in touch with what type of sceneries?
These were practical, more practical, so they were real. The backdrop was a volume stage, so they were all the computer screens all put together. So the vistas were beautiful. So there wasn't much
to imagine.
Any green
had
screen.
It there.
Yeah, it was all there. Yeah.
So how much Bethesda was involved in this process? Did you have a specialist from Bethesda?
We have James and Todd was reading all the scripts, and Emil, all the folks at Bethesda were definitely involved, but in the most constructive way possible, and making us feel safe that we could take big swings. And, you know, I know the games pretty darn well, but it's a lot, you know.
What would you take to the wasteland?
What would I take to the wasteland?
Into the wasteland?
Yeah.
A gun.
A sweater.
A bottle of cyanide, and I'm good. Yeah.
Oh, you'd need a weapon, probably some rope, and I'd find a dog somewhere. I'd take my dog.
They are very useful companions.
Very useful. I agree with you.
Whenever I go for a walk, I always want my headphones, right? I always want my music with me. So I think if I'm walking through the wasteland, and the music is such an integral part of these games, beautiful music, I think I would want my music with me.
It's that cold?
I get very cold. You never know you could die of cold.
No, of course. A coat.
A gun makes more sense, but, you know, a sweater is practical.
Could you sign my Bolt Boy?
Oh, I'd love to.
For me to
I'd
take?
be happy to, yeah, absolutely.
I keep it really...
You're clean.
Yes.
I love that.
I hope the marker works, because if not, it's going
great.
to be...
There you go.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.
It's an honor, and congratulations for making
Thank you.
our dream come true.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.